to have had the death of somebody in your family when you're in this country and they die back at home and you're not able to go. All of these kinds of things are emotions that need to be expressed to other people. In the United States, people are afraid to express their emotions because people will say, "Oh, you're just weak. Oh, that's not what a man should do. That's not what a mother should do." And when we do that, we don't allow people to really start expressing themselves. And so in what I would like to say today is, if you see someone who has a little bit of, and I hope I say these words right, dukkha, which is grief, when we don't express dukkha in our lives to someone else, it gets stuck here. Chinta. I worry about what I'm going to do. How do we tell people about chinta? How do we tell them? How do we express that to someone? Tanave, is that correct? Tanav? Tanav. 1 out of 3 isn't so bad. How do we talk about tension? Because if you're a refugee from Nigeria, from Sudan, from Bhutan, we all have similar things that we worry about. But we have to be able to say, how am I going to teach my children to tell me if they're worried? How am I going to talk to other people in my family if I'm worried about them, so that these emotions are able to be healed by the community? One of the things I did read before I came was the strength that people noticed in the young teenage and young adult population of Bhutanese men and women. There is hope, there is strength in the young people of the Bhutanese community. We have found that people who have depression or thoughts of suicide, if they can talk to their peers, to other teenagers and other young adults, that they can actually prevent people from committing suicide and can help people heal from depression. We need to allow your young people to keep learning how to do that for one another, so that the resilience and the strength of your community can live on in your young people, the ones that I see that have been so gracious to me when I came in. But and I know I'm going to talk too long, but I'll be quiet in a minute. My dream for your community, and I will work with your community as much as I can, and I'm invited to, is that I would like to work with other local mental health groups in this area and in other parts of the country to help those groups understand what it means to belong and not to be a burden to somebody else. If we can teach organizations that refugees feel burdensome sometimes to other people and don't know how to express that, we need to help local agencies help you learn how to express that. My dream would be not only in Silver Springs, Maryland, would they teach you about acculturation into the United States. My dream is that when you come to the city that you're going to be living in, that you would receive services for 9 to 12 months, continuously understanding and helping you express your emotions and the things that get stuck here. What we should work at, in my estimation, and I'll work with the board if there's ever a grant to help the mental health of immigrant communities. We need to be able to say, when you come to Phoenix, if there are issues that are stuck, dukkha, and others, that we need to be able to have psychologists who understand and can assess whether somebody is at risk for depression, post-traumatic stress, or suicide. Because currently, we don't have a nice package of mental health services for your community. And we need them. If we could train your teenagers and young adults, they then can teach the next generation how to do this kind of expression. Oops. I'm trying this new technology and I'm going to probably get lost here. I think that if we could work with the local hotlines, the suicide and depression hotlines, maybe in a collaboration, that if somebody called the hotline and said that they are not from this country, could they be connected to somebody that they could speak to on a hotline? We might be able to make another little dent in the prevention of suicide and growing severe depression among refugees. They already have resources for hotlines. I'm just asking, maybe there's a way that we can collaborate with them to expand their services to be much more specific to us. And what I'd really like to do in my dreams is to be able to see people from within your own community become life coaches. How do we coach people through different parts of their life to be able to express what their deepest emotion and feeling is? If we can do that, we can change our lives. All it will take is one person in this auditorium to stand up and to recognize if somebody is having a hard time because they have emotions that are not expressed. And if another could stand up and support them, one by one, we can change what depression, what suicide looks like in our own community. We can never probably get rid of, and I'm going to get these words up here, dukkha, but we can talk about it. And we can become stronger because of our grief. We can take chinta and make it into hope. We can make it turn into hope.